Hello. Thank you for coming to Gentle Flow Yoga today. First up, I just want to say genuinely thank you for showing up to the live feed. As a teacher, it really makes a difference knowing that we're teaching directly to someone, well, at least for me, because when we're trying to just do a recorded video, there's a bit of acting and speaking to a void rather than speaking to someone who is holding you accountable on the other end. So it really means a lot to me that you show up in the live feed. So it just helps me be a good teacher. So thank you for that. Second, safety disclaimer. So make sure you listen to your body, avoiding any type of pain, avoiding any type of nerve damage, which is like a sharp pain, any type of chronic dull aching sensation, or anything that really feels like maybe I need to get out of this pose. 100% do so. Get out of the pose. That happens. Um, this class is now going to be 45 minutes. Um, the reason for that is just simply because 45 minutes is easier for people to schedule in. And it's also a bit more gentle because it's not as long. Um, so yeah, we've just gotten some feedback, and I think that would work better for people. Let's see. Yeah, today we're not going to make too much use of the props, but if you have some sensitive knees, always go grab a blanket. Pro tip for any gentle restorative yin yoga is to be kind of circled by blankets and bits. So I have a blanket to my left, I have a blanket to my right, and I have a blanket behind me, and I have a block. The reason for that is even though my joints are pretty okay, going into a gentle practice also means going into a gentle practice. So I'm going to use any type of assistance anywhere that makes it a bit more fluid and a bit easier and a bit kinder. Okay, so go get those now. Lastly, if you have socks, I recommend putting them on. Reason for that is we're going to move our heel along the floor. So you might have to sit in a way that you're not on your mat. My mat's quite sticky, so I'm going to sit forward. So my feet are on the hardwood floors here, and they slide easily. If I had no socks on, my feet get kind of sweaty and so they stick. Anyway, so go get a pair of comfy socks on. And the last announcement, while some people are doing that, is on Monday, I'm going to be teaming up with Tom and Jan. They do lovely fitness workouts and dance workouts, very easy to manage and to put into practice. They teach I think every day of the week at 10 a.m. and they teach like a 20-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute exercise classes. So they're going to teach that, and then I'm going to teach my gentle yoga, and it's only going to be 30 minutes just to get people to do both. So stay on the website, on the Facebook page, there'll be an announcement about that. So hopefully you're all here and you're all ready to go. You got your socks, you got your bits and your bombs. And we're just going to start first with a cross-legged seated position and just come into our breath. So take your hands to your knees, comfortably bringing up the chest, not too tall, but still feeling like you're nice and erect. Breathing through your nose. And take about 5 breaths to really own that process of inhaling, feeling the lungs expand. And that exhale, feeling the air travel out through the nostrils. Maybe you focus on how beautiful it is to inhale oxygen and exhale food for plants. So if you don't know this, plants do use more carbon dioxide. We use more oxygen. That's a really nice symbiotic relationship that we have with breathing, with plant life. Good. Take 2 more breaths here, just nice and slow, nice and full. Let everything settle and relax. Good. I'm going to open up the eyes. So today we're going to work on our knee joints a lot. These are a lot. This is a problem area for many of us, as well as our hips. Again, another problem area. And part of this movement is we're going to be a bit like water. When you think about a still cup of water, it's perfectly still, perfectly placid, fills up the container that it's in. And if you were to drop a pebble, water is very lazy and just kind of moves around it, and that's it. And then it settles right back down. So throughout today, with today's practice, imagine being a bit like water. We're moving as we choose to do so, but in the most lazy, comfortable, subtle way. Okay? So bring your hands behind you for balance. Bring your legs out to the left and to the right. Okay? Not as far as you can go here. You're just a little bit out from the hips. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide the heel towards the groin. I'm going to work on my right foot first. If you're mirroring me, it's going to be your left foot. So what you do is I'm going to turn my right foot out and try to show the bottom of my right foot to my face. Then I'm going to slide that heel, keeping it on the ground closer to the groin or the left thigh, and try to keep my right knee down. Then I'm going to come out and straighten the foot, flex the heel, and drop. We're just going to repeat that. Sliding heel in, sliding heel out, flex, drop. Do that a couple times. And as you do this, going gently, going just a little bit of movement, and after you do it a few times, you go in a bit further, maybe you bring the heel a bit closer. And then now focus on trying to keep your right knee lazy, close to the ground. So the heel should feel a bit heavy. And what this is doing is opening the knee joint. Do it 2 more times. And it's also doing a lot of work in the right hip in terms of more functional movement and keeping the right hip open. Okay, pause right there. Now we're going to switch the direction. So same foot, but now my foot is going to turn towards the right. I'm going to try to bring my right heel towards my right glute. And then I'm going to come back out and straighten, flex, curl. Slide in, slide out. And this again is lazy. So we're just lazily dragging the heel in, trying to keep the right knee low. And that doesn't mean by force, but rather by turning off as much as we can to only have this be the movement about the heel. Okay, do one more. And just take a moment to notice the difference between the right knee, right hip, and the left knee, left hip, or whatever side you are on. Just notice the opposite there. For instance, my right hip and right knee, I can really feel an openness or a lack of stickiness. Now switch to the left. I'm going to do the same thing. So first, the heel comes in towards the groin, and then it comes out. And notice that this is already pretty different. Such as for me, when my heel comes in, my left knee is much closer to the ground than it was on my right side. And just keep doing this a few times. Maybe you start to bring the heel in a little bit closer to the groin because you've opened up a bit of movement. Very gentle. It's not a force. It's not a strengthening movement. Just relaxing, fluid, allowing everything to settle down. And then switch to the opposite direction. So now you turn the knee the heel towards the groin. So now this is interesting to me because as my left heel comes towards my left groin, this is much more difficult of a movement than my right side. This is very common, the asymmetry between the hips, asymmetry between the knees, especially, because we're often one leg dominant, which has a lot of ramifications throughout the body. Okay, do one more left heel to left glute. Try to keep the knee down and then come back up. Good. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on both sides, but we're going to transition left to right, or transition heel in, heel out. Okay? So first start with the right heel and have it go out. So right heel to right glute. Bring it in, and then right heel into groin. Bring it out. And just keep doing that. And try to have this experience be about the heel and a lazy knee that kind of just wants to stay close to the ground. And you can move as much as you want, and your shoulders. You need to go left to right. Your hands are just there to support the movement. Good. Do two more and go a bit further. We've opened everything up, so you can use a little bit of muscle action and try to get the heel a bit closer. Good. One more full set. Ooh. Good. Pause for a minute and just be aware of the right side and the left. And switch. Now the left heel goes to the left glute. Comes out. Comes in. So something really nice with this movement has to do with joint tissue and cartilage and all the fluid that lives in there. So our joints produce a fluid, like a lubrication, that allows them to slide in different directions, that allows them to open up, things like that. And your body does this through adaptation. So what that means is that your body's adapting. So the more you use the joint in a healthy way, in a fluid way, in a non-super stressful way, the more that the joint is going to develop that fluid, the more that the joints are going to open up the muscles. Do two more times in and out. But this also means that the converse is true. So the more that you don't use the joint, the tighter it's going to get. Good. Now just keep both legs nice and straight forward. And we're going to do one more movement here. Okay. So here, you're just going to slide the heel directly in. So your legs are mostly parallel. And you're going to slide the heel directly up to the glute and bending the knee, bringing it up. So hands come behind you. You're just going to slide the heel in. Try to touch. And if you can get your right foot all the way onto the ground, make sure you're not lifting up your hips here. So keep that right glute down and then slide the heel straight out. Flex, so remember you flex, you're kicking through the heel. Curl the toes away, so you're curling like your feet are trying to grip something, and then you drop. You just relax the whole foot. Repeat that. Heel in, try to bring the foot to flat. Heel out, kick, curl, drop. A couple more times. Kick, curl, drop. Heel in. Come out. Kick, curl, drop. If your foot can't get all the way into flat, that's okay. It's not about the foot getting flat. We are just simply opening up the knee joint as well as the hip. And then switch to the opposite side. So one of the nice benefits of yoga and somatic movement, or really any type of workout or any type of activity that is utilizing your joints, that is utilizing the muscles in the body, is going to increase the ability of the joints. It's going to increase the durability of them as well. And this is kind of done through like a positive stress. So we're kind of purposely putting a little bit of stress on the knee, a little bit of stress on the hip, and the body's adapting, getting more open, getting more fluid. If we do too much stress, that's when danger shows up, that's when problems show up. And you can actually see that in some athletes. Good. Do one more with the left foot. In some athletes, they have very little flexibility. And that's because they're doing static movements over and over and over. Okay, just relax there. Good. So from here, just come back to a cross-legged seated position. And now, notice how this already feels a bit more open, a bit more, maybe even electric. So when we move through these joints and knees especially, sometimes we can still feel a bit of wiggling sensation, if that makes any sense, especially in the hips. That's just because we're just using the connection a lot more. All right, so from here, we're going to open up our upper back before we get into a couple postures on the mat. So let's test our ability to not have to bring everything else into the body when we move. What I mean by that is just reach your right hand straight out to the right and stay right there. So even look to the right, make sure it's out to the right. And now your rib cage are going to stay directly towards the front. And all you're going to do is you're going to try to reach towards the back. See how far you can go. Pause. Now, do you sense anything happening in your low back? Maybe an arching, maybe your rib cage came up. Relax the low back. Did you turn your ribs to the right? And that's not what we're doing. Good. So just bring the right arm back. Good. And then relax the right hand to the right knee. Pause there. And immediately notice that the upper right side of the trapezius is kind of opening up, or you feel a bit of awareness there. Send the left arm up. Stay there. And then just reach back without bringing your rib cage back. So you're still straight forward without flaring the ribs up. None of that. Without the low back coming into play. Without the knees doing anything. Keep reaching back. Maybe go a bit further. And then relax. Bring the left arm to the left knee. Good. So we're going to do a few movements in yoga where we are going to be opening up and we are going to twist. But first, we just want to be able to isolate the trapezius and the shoulders. So we're going to do that again. Just reach both arms out. Now you're going to reach both arms back, but I don't want you to arch your low back, and I don't want you to bring your rib cage up. First, just reach back slowly. See how far you can go. Pause there. And I want you to think about the sensation in your upper back. So the shoulder blades are trying to get close. They're trying to touch. Maybe you reach back a little bit further and you can feel those muscles getting really tight. Good. Make sure you didn't flare up because I'm definitely doing that a bit. And then relax. Palms to knees. Pause right there. Good. Now we're going to try to bring the shoulder blades back to touch, but we're not going to use our arms to do this. So think about that experience in the upper back. And all you're going to do is bring the shoulder blades to touch only by moving the shoulders back. And now release that. Good. So we're going to do that 3 more times. You're just going to bring the shoulder blades back as slowly as you can to touch. And then you're going to relax them as slowly as you can. It should take several seconds for each movement. And try to do it on an inhale, shoulders back. And on an exhale, release. If you feel a stuttering or jittering sensation, that's very normal. Again, shoulder blades back, try to get them to touch. And release. One more time. And release. Good. Okay, so we're going to do a similar thing. Now reach your right hand just straight up, but I do not want your rib cage to move. So oftentimes when people reach their hand up, you see this. Okay, you see this arching of the spine and the rib cage is tilted to the left. That's normal. This allows you to reach something higher. And if you wanted some apples or something like that, you might need to utilize that. But I want you to bring your hand back down. And without moving your rib cage, you keep it perfectly squared right in front, right on top of the shoulders. Just reach the right hand up. Good. Now, I want you to reach higher without moving the rib cage still. Reach as high as you can without tilting. So, hopefully you're starting to feel this experience in the upper shoulder. And you feel this like tensing up on the top. Okay? Now, relax. Remember that feeling. Relax that right arm down. Okay? Same thing, opposite side. So first, test your ability. Just reach up without anything happening in the shoulder, without reaching as high as you possibly can. And now, still keep your rib cage where it is. Reach as high as you can without tilting anywhere in the torso. So you keep reaching up. And you start to feel this strengthening happening on the top left shoulder. Nice and tight. You can even feel it if you want. And almost like the arm is trying to get closer to the ear. Remember that feeling. Bring the hand down. Whew, just got a big pop there. So now we're going to do the same movement without having to raise our hands up and down. So the right shoulder just goes straight up to the right ear, trying to kiss it without tilting. And then very slowly relax it down. Pause here. Before we do that 2 more times, on the way down is the most important part. We go very slowly, and it's just releasing that tight muscle, and you keep releasing it until the shoulder is so loose and so just doing nothing. Okay, so it's not the act of bringing the shoulder down, it's the act of releasing the muscle. So bring the shoulder up to the ear, and we'll gently let it drop. Good. One more time. I don't know if you can see yourself in your own house, but seeing myself on the monitor, my shoulder actually goes down further. I can actually see a little tilt. Okay, do the other shoulder. Same thing, just straight up to the ear. And slowly release, letting the shoulder just drop on its own. All the way down. Good. 2 more. Okay, 1 more. Okay, good. So from here, we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So again, if you got those sensitive knees, you want to just bring them right underneath. I will show you. I'm going to use this loaded blanket. I'm just going to bring it under both of my knees. So both palms onto the mat, nice and wide. Okay. Fingers are nice and wide as well, so that they're all splayed out. All fingers are trying to grip the ground gently. Knees are hip-width distance apart. And now we're going to do a few cat-cows, but we're going to keep in mind the shoulder blades coming back towards the ceiling. Okay? So when you inhale, belly drops, flex the low back, and bring the shoulder blades back. Try to get them to touch. Look up. Exhale, curl in, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, cow position. Exhale, curl in, chin to chest. 2 more. One more. And come into a neutral spine. Pause there. So from here, we're going to open up the arms and use those or open up the back again. So you're going to inhale, bring the left palm out to the left, and then up to the left. So now you can use you can twist your ribs to open up towards the left more. But as you do this, focus on your upper left back shoulder, and can you reach a little bit further up now? And then relax the left hand down. Inhale, reach the right palm up. Stay for a couple breaths. Think about the upper right shoulder and try to flex it a bit. And maybe you reach a little bit further up. And bring the right hand down. Good. And from here, bring your right foot forward. Right knee on top of the right heel. Okay. Tuck the toes underneath the left foot. So try to keep that there for today's little twist here. The right foot can actually come a bit further forward if you want. Keep the left palm down. I'm going to do the same thing. Right hand reaches up. Now from here, if you want to bring your hips further forward, do so. So you should feel a stretch in the left thigh. Bring your hips a little bit further forward. Good. And take 2 more breaths here. And if you want to come off your left knee for those, go ahead. But only do so if you feel comfortable to straighten the left leg. And bring the right palm down, bring the knee down, and switch your legs. So right knee back, left foot forward. Tuck the toes underneath the right foot. Right palm down, left palm up. So now we're in our twist. And if you want to sink your hips further forward, you're safe to do so here. And just reach up. Keep your breath nice and calm, full, and fluid. If the breath leaves the body or it's not controlled, this turns into just general stretching. And you signed up to come to yoga, so try to breathe nice and controlled. Now for 2 more breaths, if you want to come off the right knee, you can do so safely. Go ahead. Or you keep that right knee on the ground. Good. Bring the left palm down, right knee down. Come back into a tabletop position. To provide a little bit of rest for our palms here, you're going to bring your palms forward. Okay? So it's like we're coming into child's pose, but you're going to bring your forearms down. Let your head drop. Untuck the toes. Stay here so that the pelvis is elevated. And to open up and lengthen across the arms, walk your palms further forward, almost as far as they can go. Press down into the floor. Push your hips slightly back. And take about 4 breaths here. Good. So we're going to come into the similar thing that we did before. So come back to tabletop. But we're going to have a twist and we're going to pivot on our feet. So I'm going to show you with the left side first. Bring the left foot forward. Okay. Heel toe that left foot a bit further forward. Pivot on the left heel so the left foot points out. Now keep your right hand down to the ground. If you have a block, you can use it now. Bring your hips forward. Okay. Let the left knee go out to the left. Okay. Keep that right thigh nice and straight, so you want to feel a stretch there as well. And then you could come to the pinky toe side edge of the left foot if you want to tilt and bring the left knee out more. It's not required, but if it feels safer to do so, do that. And you're just going to bring your hips forward. So you could even walk your palms further forward if you want, and keep kind of going that direction in lizard, where you're trying to just get your hips really close to the ground. Or if you want to go for the twist, you keep your right palm down underneath the right shoulder and then reach the left hand behind you. Okay, this is going to look very different for everyone. Choose the one you want. If you want that twist, then you're going to reach behind you with the left hand, but you're still bringing the hips forward, letting the knee fall out wide. Try to have your low back not be arched here. It's going to try to do that. Maybe bring the left knee further out to the left. Just a couple more breaths. Good. And wherever you are, bring the left foot or the left palm back down to the mat. Unpivot the left foot. Tuck the right toes underneath. And now you're going to sit back onto the right heel. You can bring your hands to the mat for stability if you need that. Bring your left toes towards the ceiling. Turn your chest towards the left leg, and then gently bow. So this can look very different if you want to sit upright, or the heel on top of or the hips on top of the knee, that's okay. If you want to bring your hips down to the heel, that's okay. Whatever works, but we're trying to stretch behind the left leg. Two more breaths. This is actually doing a lot for our right knee as well because it's hyper or bent. All right, slowly come back forward. Take your time and switch sides. So if you have a block, bring it to the left side of the mat. Bring the left knee back. Bring the right foot forward. Okay. Remember, right foot comes a bit further forward, and then you pivot on the right heel. Bring the right toes out to the right knee out to the right. And you can either just make this about the hips and the joint by bringing your palms forward as far as you feel comfortable and letting your body come down. Or the left hand can stay on the mat or a block, and you just try to reach behind you. But notice here, when we're doing this twist, we're not trying to arch the back to make it feel like we're doing a lot more. You want to bring your hips further forward, bring the right knee out further to the right, and just try to turn the rib cage as well as the right shoulder blade. So we know what that feeling is to flex the upper right shoulder blade. The low back will naturally arch a little bit, but you don't want to feel like any flexing is happening back there. It's just the upper back that should feel this. Couple more breaths. Good. And slowly unwind. Slowly. Remove the block. Bring the right foot straight towards the front. Or tuck the left toes underneath. Sit back a bit. Fold over the right leg. So it's whatever works for you. I like to sit on the heel. If you like to be a bit further up, and the hip on top of the knee, that's okay as well. The only wrong in yoga is when it becomes painful. Okay, good. And so from here, come back to a tabletop position and do 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, belly drops, look up, shoulder blades try to touch. Exhale, curl in, chin to chest, pelvis in. Inhale, belly drops, look up. Exhale, curl it in. And one more. Good. And from here, we're just going to lay back onto the mat. So move your blanket off to the side, maybe to the back. And you're going to come into a constructive rest. So both feet onto the mat, and you lay your back down. So from here, we're going to just do a couple movements. Pick up your left foot, put your left ankle on top of your right thigh. This is known as laying figure 4. Okay. You can stay right here if that's enough for you. If you want, you can pick up your right foot and interlace your fingers around the right shin or the right thigh. If you've gone into this position, notice if your pelvis is fully left the mat. Bring it back down. So if you're not quite sure what that experience is, think about your low back. The entire low back should touch, and right beneath that is your pelvis and the left and right side of the glutes. There should be a tiny little touches there as well. Now, if you want to bring your right knee a bit closer to the chest, you can do so, but as long as your pelvis and your low back stay right where they are. And notice, for a lot of you out there, that that's quite difficult to do, and the right knee probably doesn't come in much further. But when we keep our pelvis on the ground, we're making this experience more about the healing properties and opening up the hips and the knees than about simply trying to get this arbitrary sense of forcing your knee close to your chest. Just a couple more breaths here. Maybe you guide the right knee a little bit closer. You've made some room. Maybe comes in just like a half an inch closer. Remember, we're going for a nice deep stretch. We're not going for pain. Good. Slowly bring the right foot back to the mat. And now bring the right foot in the center of the mat and guide the left thigh on top of the right. So you're trying to stack your thigh. Okay. And then from here, grab the left knee. Okay. The left knee comes close to the center of your chest. It sounds weird, but you want to try to get the knee and left thigh to stack kind of on your sternum. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. Now, we can go one more step further, and this is very important that you only do this if you feel okay. Can be a bit heavy on the joints if you're very tight. So keep your left hand on the left side edge of your left knee. Your right hand, if it can grab the left foot, do so. Okay? So you want to hold the top of the left foot like your fingers are gripping around the pinky toe side edge. And then, by holding the left foot down, take the left hand and try to guide the left knee a bit closer. That should feel a bit intense. You can also take the right hand and try to guide the left foot towards the mat, while at the same time trying to hold the left knee towards the chest. It's just a little bit of pressure, but you'll feel the whole left pelvic half light up. And if particular, you'll feel the external hip flexor on the left side, giving you some feedback. Good. Now, if your right hand's on your left foot, let go of that. Both hands interlace the fingers around the left knee and just straighten your right foot. Flex the right heel and bring the right leg down to the ground. Okay, so the right leg's nice and straight. And now you're going to hug the left knee into the left side of the chest, so like you're going towards the left shoulder. Good. Now, if you want, you start to bring the left knee like the left armpit or outside the left shoulder. So the left knee is going all the way to the left. Keep that right leg nice and straight. And you can hold on to the left knee with just your left hand. Guide a bit more out to the left. And the right hand reaches out to the right. So it's not a twist here. Now, here's the fun part. So let go of the left knee and try to let the left heel touch the ground somewhere. Okay. From here, just slide the heel. We've done similar movement. Slide the heel very slowly to where the left leg becomes straight. And once it gets fully straight, flex that left heel. Curl the toes, strong left leg, and let it drop. Whew. All right, so we're going to repeat that on the other side. So this time we're going to come into constructive rest, but I want you to do so by sliding the heels. So both knees are going to go out, kind of like a butterfly, as the heels come in towards the groin. And then both feet come flat to the mat, which bring the knees up. What happened to your low back? Did it tilt? Mine did, so relax the low back. Good. So from here, pick up the right foot. Guide the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And if that's enough for you in laying figure four, you just stay there. Or pick up the left foot, interlace your fingers around the left shin, the left thigh. Keep that pelvis onto the floor, or at least the low back and the bottom of the spine are touching. Notice if you have any tendencies here. So for me, I'm trying to lean over to the right a bit. Keep it equal, keep it level. You'll feel this on the external right hip flexor. And then if you want to go a little bit further, bringing that left knee just a little bit closer, but you keep your low back and pelvis on the ground. It's just the knee that's trying to get closer by bending at the waist. Ooh. Couple more breaths. Good. And left foot down to the center of the mat. Guide the right thigh on top of the left thigh. And so from here, you can interlace your fingers around your right knee and guide it towards the center of your chest, towards the sternum. So you're not holding the right knee to the right side or the left. The right knee is trying to go right, like it's trying to touch your heart. And then if you want to go for that last deeper version, you grab the left foot, guide the left foot towards the ground, while at the same time guiding the right knee towards the chest. And there are different experiences you can have here if you're pushing the foot down more or bringing the right knee in more. They kind of target different areas of it. It's up to you where you feel like you want. Good. And then from here, hold that right, or both fingers interlace around the right knee. Good. Hug the right knee into the right shoulder this time. Straighten the left leg up. Flex the left heel. Bring the left leg all the way down to the mat. Good. And then from here, bring the right knee out to the right side. Trying to get the right knee towards the right armpit. Then you can take the left hand off, reach it towards the left. Guide the right knee further out to the right. Good. And then very slowly bring the right heel down. So the right knee is going to have to move away a bit probably. Once the heel touches, then try to keep this movement on the heel. So the heel slides out to where the right leg becomes straight. You flex the right leg, kick through the heel, flex the toes, let it drop. And then just take a few breaths here in Shavasana. Letting everything marinate and settle in. Take 2 more breaths and enjoy the sensation of dropped, of release, of relaxed. And then very slowly make your way up to a cross-legged seated position. Maybe you decide to come through a laying fetal position first. Just take your time. Move like water, be lazy. And just bring your hands back to prayer. Okay. We'll take one collective sigh together. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. Inhale the thumbs up to the third eye, let your chest rise. And exhale, bow. Namaste. Great. I hope you enjoyed that. I definitely did. I really like when we get into those kneecaps. So thank you very much for coming. These are all donation-based and videos, so if you'd like to donate, that'd be great. If you'd like to share it with someone who would benefit from this, then please, by all means. This recording will stay up probably till next Wednesday. So just as an announcement, on Monday, I'm going to be teaching from Facebook Live, which is a bit different. So it will be on the Facebook platform and it will not be on my website. And it will be done through Tom and Jan's Facebook account. That'll be all on the website or on the Facebook page. So just keep your eyes out for that. And it'll just be a 30-minute yoga stretch after their workout routine. I do recommend going to their workout. You'll see it on their page. They're very fun and they do good things. Okay. Let's see. The next class is going to be Power Vinyasa. That is tonight at 6 p.m. It's 1 hour. It's fun. It's spicy. We get a nice workout. So I recommend giving that a shot. Anyway, I hope you have a really good day. And hopefully those joints are going to feel nice and good after all that.